everyone, it's Emaphant here and welcome to a brand new speed build. So today we are building a house that I'm actually completely in love with. I had so much fun building this house. It's pretty much exactly my style, so I hope you guys like it as well. Anyway, it's a 4-bedroom and 2-bathroom house. I kind of designed it to have one parental room, a toddler's room, and then a teen or kids room, as well as one guest room. So there isn't a 4th bedroom, but I've kind of built that to be a guest room as opposed to another kid's room. So you are more than welcome to change that if you want it to be more kid-friendly. I am building this house off of a picture that I found on Pinterest, so I'll pop that up on the screen for you guys so you guys can see my inspiration around this. I saw this house a couple of weeks ago and was like, I need to build this. This is so cool. So I'm really excited for how this turned out. This is probably pretty close to what my dream house would be. I really, really like the style of this house. I am using custom content in this build, so if you guys want to check that out, I've included the links to everything I'm using in the description down below. Feel free to take a look. These are some of my favorite creators because, as you guys probably realized, I haven't been using custom content for some of my recent builds, so that tells you how much I love this content. This was the first step to go back in my game, so I really like it. If you guys like it too, feel free to download it. It's really good content. But yeah, we're just figuring out the floor plan here. There is a floor plan included in the picture that I'm using. I didn't show that to you guys because it was really long, but you might see me pausing and stopping occasionally, and I'm kind of going back and looking at what the layout should look like. I certainly just used it for inspiration. I've moved a couple of things around, mostly in the basement, I believe, but it's close enough. So we're kind of experimenting with this couch here. I liked the idea of using that kind of built-in bay seat couch. I thought that looked really cool. We ended up not going with that, which I'm a little bit sad about. That I couldn't make the spacing work the way that I wanted to next to the dining table. So I like the idea of that. I think that I'm probably going to try that again in a different build that maybe is a little bit just a different shape of the floor plan, because I think it would still work quite well. It just didn't work given the size of the house that I'd already built. So yeah, we do get some pretty good sized bedrooms in here and a lot of space for all of your skill building activities, really. I didn't include everything, but you can absolutely change out some of the things that I did include if you wanted different skill building stuff. But we have painting, we have some gym stuff, we have a computer, of course. I believe that we have a guitar, we have a chess set, we have a bar in the downstairs. We have a lot of stuff in this house, you guys. It actually ended up being a lot bigger than I expected it to, because we have this whole basement area that just, I don't know, basements are such an easy way. If you guys don't want to put a lot of effort into making a house look great from the exterior, basements are the way to go, because you can build a kind of small house above ground and then just have this giant basement underground to fill in all your skill building stuff or whatever else that you need. So if y'all want to be lazy builders, that's a good way to do it. I also really enjoyed working with this walkout basement. I mean, I know that we don't have constraint floor elevation cheats in Sims 4, which is unfortunate because I would have loved to do some more stuff with that, because I never really built in Sims 3 where we did have that and we could build kind of on a hill like that. I wasn't that into building when Sims 3 was out. I didn't know about a lot of cheats. I wasn't as aware of the different options that you could do with Sims. So I miss that now, really getting into building in Sims 4, that I never got to build like that. So I don't know. I like how we do this basement. I think it ends up looking like a really fun basement. I mean, this is a party house, you guys. This house would be so good for entertaining. We have this big basement area with a DJ booth. Forgot to mention that for skill building. We also have a DJ booth, because why not? But yeah, this house is all about entertaining, all about dinner parties, house parties, pool parties, really just whatever you guys would want to do as far as a party would go. This house is a good house for it. So yeah, if you guys are looking for a house to build in some party people, this would be a great house to play in, and I highly recommend that you guys check it out, because I like it. I don't know. Guys, you should check out my house, because it's really cool. I'm gonna stop. I promise. I'm gonna stop. But yeah, I always struggle with these flat roofs. So I love doing flat roofs because they're so easy and like you don't have to work that hard to make it look good and look realistic, but I never know what to put as flooring, quote unquote. Obviously it's not flooring because it's on the roof, but I never know what to put up there. Like we have some metal roof stuff that I think is good, but I feel like it always looks like it would retain a lot of heat sometimes, or it doesn't look like what a roof should look like. So a lot of the time I just end up using concrete like this, which I think is fine. Like it works, it looks okay, but I don't feel like we have a lot of great options for that. Like that's something that I would like to explore more, is different ways of covering that flat roof, because I don't know, I like doing flat roofs. I like the lines that they give to the house. I think they're really nice. So that's something that I think I'm going to be playing with some more as I continue building. I also really enjoyed the contrast in this house. Like obviously it's very, very hard lines, very rectangular. It has some vibes of like a container build home. It's not a container build home, it's far too big, but I think it has some vibes of that, which is the rectangular shape of it. So I really enjoyed kind of the contrast of that with the lines, given like we have a lot of like woods and we have a lot of natural stone and we have a ton of greenery in this patio backyard area. So I really enjoyed playing with that and kind of having that contrast. I mean, that's something that I love to see in interior design and exterior design and like just all sorts of architecture and stuff. Like I love to see those kinds of juxtapositions and those kind of contrasts. I think it creates a far more interesting end result. And so I really liked how this house turned out, that we had that mix of stuff. We actually, when we get to the kitchen, you'll see me playing around with some more woods that I ended up not going with, and I'm kind of regretting that now, is that I changed that out, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So I don't know if you guys know why sometimes those fences glitch out and they like part of the fence disappears when you put in gates. Let me know why. Like I'm so confused why that happens, because it'll go away later. Usually that's kind of all I know how to do when it happens, is like, well, if I come back to it later, like if I reload my game or something like that, like it might stop. But I don't know why that happens. Like I'm very curious as to why that keeps happening. So if you guys know, like let me know, because I want to understand why that happens. I don't understand at all. Oh wow. It's snowing so much, you guys, right here. Like, I just saw this massive snowbank blow off the top of my house and, like, almost white out my window. It's so, so snowy here. Like, I think that we probably got 3 or 4 inches last night, which is a lot for Pittsburgh. Like, so I used to live in Boston, or the Boston area, which obviously, like, if you guys know anything about the U.S. and about our geography, Boston's really, really snowy. Like, it's very, very much in the northwest. It's very much in the northeast. And I lived in an area that was, like, for 3 years running or 4 years running while I was in college, it was ranked the snowiest city in the continental U.S. So, yeah. I'm used to a lot of snow, but still, this is a lot of snow for Pittsburgh, and I haven't seen this much snow in a little while, actually. So I'm kind of hiding inside and not going outside too much because it's too cold for me and I don't want to go out there. But, you know, that's why we can play Sims and we can stay warm inside our homes. It's nice. So yeah, we're working on this patio basement, I guess I would call it. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's a weird kind of space because we don't have better building tools for hills. Like it does feel like it's a separate room, but it's still kind of part of the patio. We have that hot tub down here. We have all of the plants that, you know, of course they'd have to be outside to really work correctly, like grow correctly. So I think it's really fun, but it's a little unusual. So I don't know. I'd like to hang out down there. It'd be a fun place to hang out. Moving on, we're starting to get into the interior. We're working on this kitchen. Yeah. Playing around with the design. I think that we do end up keeping this. I was trying to remember. I had downloaded a CC kitchen that I really, really like, and I was trying to remember if I ended up switching it out to that cabinet set, but I don't. But I keep this one from Cool Kitchen, which I really like. Like I like the design of this Cool Kitchen set, but I wish that we had more color swatches to it. Like I think that this black one with the white tops and I think there's another kind of wood colored one with white tops or tanner tops, like, I don't know, lighter color tops. I think those are the only 2 color swatches that I use, because I feel like the rest of them just have really funky looking color combinations between the countertop and the counters themselves, like the wood or whatever. That doesn't look like wood, but whatever that substance is. I feel like that just the color combinations are funky, so I don't know. I love the style of them, like they're very much in my style with that modern look, but I wish that we had more color swatches because there aren't enough for me. Messing around with these couches here. I really liked the idea of doing that built-in couch, but I couldn't make it fit in the way that I wanted to give enough walkway space between that couch and the dining room table. So we ended up going with this couch. This couch is custom content. It is, as I said, linked down below, but I really like this couch as well. The lines of it are really nice. Like, I like the kind of bulbousness of it, if that's a word. But it has, these really big arms, and it's very, like, it looks very comfortable. It looks very plush. So I like that. We do end up changing the color to a kind of like browny suede color, which I like. I've been looking at a lot of design stuff of brown couches, because when I was buying a couch after I moved to my new house, I was like, I don't want a brown couch. Like, I could only picture this one that we had in my house growing up that was like very, I don't want to say old-fashioned, but it looked very like Colorado, like mountainy rustic, which is fine. I like that sometimes. Like, it can be a good look, but it wasn't going for this like modern, I don't know, kind of dramatic. I don't even know what word I'm trying to find, but the look of this house with like the bright red and the really modern lines and like all of the natural stone and wood and whatnot, I just didn't think that, I don't know, I've been exploring kind of that design and how that looks, and I like brown couches a lot more than I thought I did. I don't know, it's cool, they're cool. Anyway, I really also liked this red paneling that I had behind the kitchen. I kind of wish that I'd kept it in retrospect. I liked the contrast of it. Like, I liked the kind of dramatic colors of the kitchen, and then we have just those pretty simple tan, like stucco-y walls around the rest of it. We did end up staying with that tile, but as you can see, I'm kind of experimenting with that red paneling because I thought it was really cool. Like, I really liked that redwood paneling. I couldn't find a space in which it looked normal, like it looked realistic to have wood paneling there. Because if you think about it, like in a kitchen, if you had wood paneling, that would get really dirty. It would probably get really damaged very quickly as you had, oil from your cooktop splattering on it or water splattering on it from the sink. Like, it's not very realistic in terms of maintenance, but I thought it looked really cool, so I kept trying to use it someplace else, and I don't think I ever got it in this house. Like, I don't think that anything looked quite right with it, but that's another thing that I think I'm gonna try to do in a different house in a build in the future, because I loved how that looked. Like, I think it looked so dramatic, and I don't know what other word I want for it. I'm struggling with words a little bit today, but I thought it was really cool, so I'd like to try that again in the future. Yeah, we're working on the rest of the living room here. We do use quite a bit of custom content in this living room. I love that chair that's very, like, I think that the creator called it like an origami chair or something, but it has really cool lines and it's very graphic. I don't know. I like that. I've been enjoying looking at like graphic patterns lately, like really strong angles and lines and stuff like that. Like, I think that's really cool. Next to something that can be a lot softer. So like those chairs from, what's it called? Bowling Stuff that are they have really sloped arms and they're kind of rounded. I think those look really, really good next to something that's more structured. So you'll see me a lot of times put those chairs from Bowling Stuff next to that base game couch that has that like really square or rectangular wooden frame. I have no idea what it's called, but it comes in a bunch of swatches. It's base game. It has like tufted leather looking stuff on the inside and then like a wooden, very boxy frame. I think that those two things look really, really nice together because you have the kind of soft lines of the Bowling Stuff chair, but then you also have a lot of, like, you bring a lot of structure into it with that couch. So I think I'm kind of, working with that idea here too with that bright red chair. I mean, it's kind of circular. The structure of the cushion is very stark and it has very strong lines, but the shape of the chair as a whole is like very more organic and circular, whereas the couch has very firm structured lines on the outside, but the cushions bring a lot of softness into it. So I think that those two pieces go together quite well because they have kind of both elements bring in something soft and something structured, and I think they complement each other really well. So that's something that I always like to play with when I'm kind of looking at a space, is I want to find something that adds enough structure to keep it feeling grounded. I think that's something that's very important, is you want things to feel like they fit and they make a good flow, and you kind of understand how that space should be used, and it all kind of ties itself together. But you need pieces that are also very soft and bring in some more, I would describe it as like organic aspects to it. You think about flowers are very soft, obviously, they're very flowy. So kind of combining that, I think that that works, with this fur rug as well. That's obviously a very soft piece. So I think that it's important to combine things like that to try to get a more cohesive design across your whole space. So we're just about wrapping up with the first floor here. I think that we have some more decorating to do, like some more clutter items in the kitchen, but we're going to come back to that in a little bit. I needed a little bit of a break from that space because I'd been working on that for a little while. So we're moving up to the second floor here. We're working on the master suite right now. This bed and bed frame are also custom content. So the other thing that I really, really like about custom content is that a lot of the time they have the separate bed frames and bed mattresses. I know that's something that The Sims used to have, is that you could separate those two things, so you could kind of control a little bit more what the design looked like, and you could also like mix and match mattresses across various bed frames. I really like doing that. I think it gives you a lot more versatility in the final design if you don't just have to use like this bed given the mattress and the bed frame and all of that. So I like that. I like having another 4-postered bed in my game too, because I love that. Was it from that 4-postered bed from City Living? I really, really like that bed, but it's also, I feel like it only fits in specific types of homes. Like, it's not particularly, I don't want to say it's not versatile, because it is. Like, it has enough color swatches that it is, but it's very, I feel like I can only use it in specific situations. I feel like this bed frame that I'm using right here, it can go into a lot more traditional looks, whereas the other bed frame is a little bit younger living, is a little bit younger looking and fits in more youthful homes, and that doesn't always work. Like, obviously this house is somewhat youthful. I mean, it's very modern, which I associate with a youthful home. So it probably could have worked in this situation. I've used it so much too that I'm kind of burnt out on using it and wanted something different. So again, I'm trying so hard to use this red wood paneling because I think it's so, so cool. And I don't know if I've ever used that particular color swatch before of that. I think it's from Spa Days, that paneling, but I don't know that I've ever used that color swatch. Like, I've used the white a bunch, I've used the gray, I've used like that light wood color, and then like the kind of more medium, warmer wood color, but I don't know that I've ever used that red or reddish wood color. So I ended up going just with the red paint, which I'm a little bit sad about, but I thought that it looked weird with the red wood paneling. I think that didn't really work given the bed and the more traditional look of the bedding. So I think that it ties better with the one that we use, but I'm a little disappointed that I didn't find anywhere to use that red wood paneling in this house. So working on the master bathroom here, pretty simple bathroom. Y'all know how I like my white bathrooms. This bathroom is completely white. Like, I don't know. I think even my rug that I end up using is like beige, grayish white. It's so white, but it feels clean, you guys. Like, I love a clean bathroom. I mean, who doesn't love a clean bathroom as opposed to a dirty, like, no one wants a dirty looking bathroom. Of course not. But yeah, it's pretty simple in here. We get a little bit of color, I believe, with some flowers up on the countertop. So, and of course that painting over closer to the master bedroom. So we get a little bit of color in here, but nonetheless, it's quite clean looking. Yeah, that's how we're going to describe it. Clean looking, for sure. We were also going with some really strong color themes in this house. So, of course, as I've said a couple of times now, the first floor has a lot of red in it, and I never decorate with red. Like, I don't like the color red. I like dark red. I don't like bright red. I think it just looks, it looks aggressive to me, actually. That's what it is it looks like angry and aggressive to me. So I don't like decorating with it because it's like it's too in your face. So I wanted to experiment with that a little bit more and kind of see where we could go with it. I mean, I do actually really like burgundy and like a darker red. I think that's a really nice color. So we're kind of working with burgundy / red. It's a little dark to be considered red purely, but I wanted to play with that. And then we also get a lot of yellow in this house. You saw in the master bathroom, like that had some yellow in it. And then we go downstairs and work on another kid's room that has quite a bit of yellow in it. I've gotten really into like a purple and yellow combination for teen girls' rooms. I think I did that in my last build that I had just posted as well. So I don't know. I guess I'm on like a yellow and purple kick right now. I don't know. We're working on this toddler's bedroom here. I wanted to put the toddler's room on the same floor as the parents' room, as the master suite, because of course if you have a toddler, like they're gonna wake up in the middle of the night, they're gonna need to like, they're gonna have nightmares, they're gonna need to check in with their parents to like make sure they're okay and all that stuff. So we ended up putting this room upstairs with the toddler, and then the kids or teens room is on the basement floor, along with what could be another like in-law suite. I kind of thought of it as a guest room, so it's very basic considering that like I thought of it as a guest room. You know, it's just really the bed, a wardrobe, and a chair, and that's pretty much it. Like there's not a ton of personality in that room that would really like lend itself to a particular person. So it'd be really easy for you guys, I think, to place any sim that you wanted to in there. Like if it is an in-law suite, if you have an elder in your home, like I think that would work really well. You could also turn it into a butler's room if you wanted to do that. Like there's a lot of options there. I don't think it would be too difficult to kind of transition to whatever storytelling you guys wanted to use it for. So yeah, we're working on this toddler's room. I don't know. I always struggle when I'm doing kids' rooms because I like to decorate things very, like, make them look very done. You know what I mean? Like, it looks very put together. It looks like you kind of bought everything to go together. And I would say most kid rooms in reality are really just whatever catches the kids' fancy. Like, they don't look very done. They don't look very organized or have, like, strong color themes or stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I struggle with that balance because obviously, like, I like design. I like to make things look good, but a kid is just going to like whatever the kid likes. Like, it's not necessarily going to be perfectly put together. So that's always an interesting question when I'm building a kid's room is like, do I want it to be really wild and crazy and like what a kid would actually want, or do I want it to look really good? And like my definition of good. And I find it easier to do teen bedrooms as like a little bit more wild. I don't know if it's just because like I can relate to that better, whereas like I can't really remember being a toddler, of course. Like I don't really remember what my room looked like when I was really, really young. I remember what my room looked like by the time I was probably in like 4th grade or so, you know, maybe 10 years old. I remember that I had like an Africa theme to my bedroom. So I had like sunset orange walls. That's how my mom described it, as sunset orange. I think she was being generous. I had garish orange walls, like regrets, you guys, regrets. But then I had like all these like African style fabrics around, so it's like tablecloths or whatever, and like a bunch of stuffed animals of elephants, because you guys know I like my elephants, as well as like giraffes and things like that. Like, I don't know, it was wild, but I guess I was just like really into that at that age. I don't know. But before that, I don't remember what my room looked like. I'm pretty sure that was, I used to share a room with my sister when I was really young, so I'm pretty sure when I kind of went in that Africa theme, like, that was the first time that I got to, not design my room, but like have my room by myself and pick how we decorated my room just for me and didn't have to share it with her. So I think that before that, it was pretty simple. I don't even think that we had, like, I think we just had like blue walls or something, and that room had like a full wall of built-in cabinets, and then most of another wall were windows, and then another wall was all closets. So it was all like white closets. They were just white closets. But so I only had like one wall that wasn't like already something. So obviously, like, I'm not going to take out these really nice built-in cabinets. And I'm not going to take out the windows or the closets because, like, you need windows and closets, of course. So I think for the most part, it was simple. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we just about finished the upstairs. We had a little bit of an office space in there with one computer, but a seat to put another computer if you wanted to, or like I was thinking about that for a place for a kid to do their homework, so that would be a good spot for that. Yeah, and we got a couple other skill building stuff on the deck that was up there. I don't think that I recorded that because it was just a couple of things, but we get an easel out there and we get a yoga mat out there. So that's a couple other skill building things that we have. You could also change that out if you wanted anything else up there. If your Sims wanted different skill building skills. If your Sims wanted different skill building skills, you could change that out now. If your Sims wanted different skill building activities, you guys could change that out. So we're just working on the kitchen here and trying to make it look a little bit more realistic, get some more stuff in there that an actual kitchen would have, like pans and knives and, you know, fruit bowl, all that kind of thing. Yeah, I've been enjoying doing my kitchens a little bit more detailedly lately. Like, I think that even just a month ago, I would frequently do just like the kitchen cabinets and the actual necessities that the Sims needed to have a functional kitchen. But I've been enjoying doing a lot more decor and doing a lot more kind of clutter type stuff that makes the kitchen look a lot more realistic. So that's been really fun to me. I'm also so happy to have custom content back in my game because it gives you so many more clutter items. Like, I think this is a really common complaint, but there's just not a lot of clutter stuff in The Sims 4 right now. Like, a lot of stuff that fits on like the shelves, slots, the really tiny slots. Like, there's just not a lot of it. So custom content is a really great thing if you guys feel my pain in that and want some more things that fit in really little shelves or really small things that you can kind of pile up on each other to make it look more realistic. I would definitely recommend, if you guys are interested in checking out some of the custom content, like looking into that. So we're getting a bookshelf over here. I think that we actually have 2 bookshelves on this main floor, but I wanted to make it feel realistic in terms of how filled up this space was. Because, like, if you think about most people's actual homes, they don't have, like, unless they're really, really rich and just have, like, a mansion, they don't have a ton of spaces that are just empty or, like, really, really big walkways. So I wanted to kind of make this house feel like that, where everything, you have a lot of stuff. Like, if you think about it, like, people have a lot of stuff and it kind of, like, you need to find a home for it. So I kind of wanted to make that feel like this and have, of course we have plants and those urn things, which I really like to use, but also, like, I have more than one bookshelf in my house because I have 1,000 freaking books. Like, I have books all over the place. So I really wanted to replicate that, or kind of build in that spirit of how people would actually need like that much storage in their house. I mean, Sims doesn't have a ton of closet stuff or a ton of storage things like closets. Like, if you think about a coat closet or a linen closet or things like that, like there's just it's difficult to replicate that idea in The Sims because you don't need it. Like, it's not anything that you would actually use in The Sims. So I wanted to kind of nod to that at very least with bookshelves. And you'll see me a lot of the times I'll also use kitchen cabinets in other rooms to kind of replicate the idea of having cabinets and or closet type things in other spaces, like a linen closet. Because I think it's important. Like, I think it's important to kind of replicate, like, if you want it to look realistic anyways, like, it's important to replicate the need for storage in an actual house, because it is important. And it is something that an actual house desperately needs. Like, I think that was one of the number one things when we were looking for our house that we bought about a year ago, is like, our house is built in 1890. It's an old house. So the original closets are they're tiny. They're like 6 inches deep, maybe. So my closet's not like that. My closet is a lot bigger because I stole some of the space. I think that actually my bathroom area was 2 bedrooms or something before, because it's way too big for like the bathroom, closet, bedroom whole area is way too big for it to have been just 1 bedroom with how old this house is. So I'm curious as to what that used to look like before. It was changed like before we bought it, so I never saw it that old. But I'm curious as to what that looked like before they kind of reworked that floor plan, because that would be an interesting thing to know. Probably just for me. You guys probably aren't interested in this. This was that couch that I was trying to describe earlier when I was talking about the base game couch with a wooden frame. These couches right here. That's what I was talking about if I was being super confusing, which is entirely possible. But I love those couches from base game. I think they're so, so nice. They're probably my favorite, they're probably my favorite base game item, like EA made item. I don't know. I don't know if I have, oh man, I can't even think of anything else that I would like more. They're a really good item. Like those couches are real, real good. Yeah, so this is kind of the main party room, I would say. We get these 2 couches in here. We ended up moving that foosball table and adding the DJ booth over there, but we still have the foosball table. And then we do have a bar in here. I changed that. I changed it last minute. I was like, this house needs a bar. Like this house clearly needs a bar. So I changed that last minute before I did the screenshots and switched out. I just had like a console table over by the door out to the patio area before, but I switched that out for a bar because I felt like this house needs a bar. Like it's way too much of a party house not to have any kind of bar. So yeah, we're just kind of getting this area a lot more decorated. I also like having custom content because I like having throw pillows on my couches. I know a lot of the newer couches and the newer stuff packs and whatnot come with throw pillows, but I don't like a lot of the throw pillows that they come with. Like, I know Parenthood couches have a bunch of throw pillows on them that I don't really like, and I think I do like most of the cats and dogs throw pillows, like the blanket over that taller backed chair. I really like for a particular style anyway, but I also just like having the control over it. Like I like making a look the way I want it to, because like throw pillows are such a great way to create more variety of looks. Like most of the time, I'm going to go for a pretty simple couch. I'm going to go for a kind of creamy colored couch or a gray couch or something like that. And then any color I want to bring into a space, I'm going to bring into with a throw pillow. Because if you have like a bright red couch or something, or like a turquoise couch, that's kind of an intense look and it doesn't always look great. Like it's a very particular thing to try to balance. So I prefer to work with stuff that's like a really, really simple base and then has a lot more of a fun throw pillow or blanket or like vases or stuff like that. Like that's typically how I like to bring in color, as opposed to having just like a giant piece that's really, really bright or really, really intense. So yeah, I like having custom content throw pillows for sure. But yeah, so this room that we're working on right now is kind of the guest room, is what I was thinking of it. As you can see, it's pretty simple. We just have like one little chair in the corner, a little bit of a wardrobe that frankly would not be enough for anyone who lived there permanently if that was going to be realistic. Like I could not live with just that little bit of space and little drawers. Like no, I couldn't do it. But it's pretty simple. You know, we go mostly with black and white and then get a little bit of red in there by that chair to kind of tie into the rest of the theme of the house. Moving on to the kids' bedroom, I put a bunch of toys in here, so it kind of would be more of a kids' bedroom, but I feel weird putting a child's bedroom in the basement because like they're downstairs with a bunch of bar stuff and like other things that I feel like would be concerning if they were actually children. So I decorated kind of in between kid and teen, but I do put a bunch of toys in there. So it's up to you guys. Like if you guys, I mean, I'm kind of presuming that you would start with a kid in here that would then age up into a teen, and it would kind of work throughout both of those life stages. But I don't know. I felt a little weird about putting a kid so far away from their parents, because like when you're, 10 and 8, 10, like you still get nightmares. Like that's still absolutely a thing that happened. I mean, I still get nightmares and I'm 25. Like, I don't know. I felt a little bit weird about putting the kid like so far away. So yeah. I'm trying to remember when my sister moved out of our shared bedroom, because she did move to the basement when she did that. My parents renovated a part of our basement that had previously been like unimproved. It was just concrete floors and whatnot, I think. And I'm trying to remember how old she was when she moved down there. I want to say that she was probably going into middle school or something, so maybe 12, maybe 13. I think that's about right. Something like that sounds about right. but I can't remember. So I don't know, maybe that age like makes sense to put them in the basement, but it seems weird to me to put your kids so far away from you if you were a parent. This is the only bathroom in the first floor. Oh wait, we do have, I said it was 2 bathrooms, but it's actually 3 bathrooms. I totally miscounted because we have the master ensuite, we have the bathroom on the 2nd floor, and then we have this bathroom in the basement. So it's actually 3 bathrooms, not 2, like I said. I should check that to make sure that I upload it correctly and said that it was 3 bathrooms instead of 2. But yeah, so I kind of decorated this one to more tie into the style of this kid's bedroom, considering that I was designing the other bedroom as a guest bedroom. Like, it made more sense to me to have this bathroom tie into more of a kid's bedroom as opposed to something that was more like globally used and had guests using it more often. So yeah, I don't know. I liked how it turned out, but it's interesting. Anyway, we're just about wrapping up here. We have a little bit more landscaping to do, and then I do a couple of things off camera, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching this build as much as I enjoyed building this, because I had a blast building this. Anyway, if you did enjoy this, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!